Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Live with NORML. I'm J.M. Padini, the Development Director for the National Organization for the Reform of Marijuana Laws. It's Friday, July 14th, 2023. That means it's time for us to talk about all the cannabis news, science, policy, law changes you need to know about to be an informed, responsible consumer. Hey Andrew, good to see you. Welcome back. Hey, Jeff. Happy weekend to you as well. Hey, everyone. Take a quick sec. Hit that like, follow, subscribe button so you never miss when NORML goes live. And also drop a note in the chat. Let us know where you're watching from. Hey, Folly. Hey, Ebony. Good to see you. Where's everyone watching from? We're going to talk about stuff. It's going to be great. All right. So while you all tell me where you're watching from, let's start talking about some news. Hey, John in Rich Creek, Virginia. Hey, Cody in Ohio. Hey, Cody, since you're in Ohio, let's just start with that. Let's start with some pretty big news this week. Ohio advocates turned in nearly twice the number of signatures that are needed to put legalization on the ballot this November. So let's see, this is an additional 222,000 signatures. The Secretary of State's office is now in the process of validating these signatures. And again, this is nearly twice the number that they would need to put the citizens-initiated ballot measure before voters this fall. So great work, advocates in Ohio. Make sure if you're in that state, you're getting involved. Hey, Ebony in Virginia. Oh, Cody, wow. Yeah, elections have consequences, don't they, my friend? Hey, Tim in Ontario, good to see you. Thanks for joining us. All right. Everyone, make sure you are telling everyone you know in Ohio to get involved in the legalization initiative. Got all the information you need for that on our website. Check it out. Hey, Curtis, welcome back. Curtis joining us from Georgia. Hey, Matthew in New York. Nice to see you here. All right, let's talk about Michigan. This week, Michigan finally, after months and months of debate, Michigan ends pre-employment marijuana screening for most state employees. So this is a new policy that was finally enacted, and after ample testimony was taken, but most public employees will no longer be required to undergo pre-employment drug screening for cannabis. There are some exceptions to the new rule for certain safety-sensitive positions like law enforcement personnel. And those who might have previously been denied employment because of a positive drug screen for marijuana are also now eligible to immediately reapply for employment. Good news in Michigan. Hey, Nikki in Alabama, good to see you. Hey, James, welcome back. Hello, Ellie. Nice to see you as always, friend. Nice to see you. All right, here's my last, well, maybe we'll do a little bit more news after this because we're kind of getting to the bottom of the barrel in the state policy updates. But listen, show of emoji, because I can't see your hands. Who's ever heard of or experienced a runner's high? Who knows about runner's high? Give me some emoji in the chat right now. Hey, Mike in SoCal. Mike in SoCal, do you know about a runner's high? Is this real? Is this a real thing? Well, guess what? Turns out that it's probably not endorphins. Turns out it's probably endocannabinoids making people feel that runner's high, more specifically anandamide. Thanks, Mike. Thanks, of course. Yeah, Nikki, that is what's up. There's a new study that just came out. You can take a look at it. Cassidy just dropped it in the chat for you. Not only does it enhance cannabis use, enhance runner's high, it may ultimately be endocannabinoids that are responsible for that feeling. Check it out. I actually had heard about this study last week from my friend Lex Pelger. He has a TikTok where it talks about cannabis and other drugs from a scientific perspective. Really folly, really indeed. Hey, Kelly, good to see you. All right. Yeah. Thanks for sharing that info with us, Kelly, about Missouri's cannabis packaging bill. Isn't it fascinating what legislators prioritize? Really is, isn't it? Hey, Cody, you're looking for a recommendation for attorneys? Yes. Yes, in fact, we can recommend attorneys. You're welcome to shoot us an email at legal@norml.org. But if you just want to go ahead and take a look at attorneys, oh, you said Ohio. Let me drop that in the chat for you. There's a lot of great attorneys in Ohio that are part of the NORML legal committee. Yeah, there you go. Curtis, you got jokes. You got jokes. All right. What happened with that bill? I see that's a bill, but I don't see what those aren't good. That's not helpful. I can't see what they did. All right, in Pennsylvania this week. Oh, okay. This is interesting. Those don't help me. I can't see what they say. Senate Bill 538 in Pennsylvania expands the medical cannabis program to include edible preparations, more traditional edible preparations. So not just pills, tinctures, and liquids, but other edibles as well. 538 passed the Senate Law and Justice Committee and has been re-referred to the Senate Appropriations Committee. And then Senate Bill 835, the same thing, has also passed Law and Justice and been referred over to Approps. And that bill, 835, removes the made-up list of qualifying conditions so that doctors can add any patient at their discretion, right? That's how it ought to be. Way to go, Pennsylvania, moving those bills along. No, I don't want to. That's unnecessary. Let's see, what about Massachusetts? Massachusetts has House Bill 114. That's up for a vote in Joint Committee on Cannabis Policy on July 18th. And 114 would protect the employment and workers' rights of medical cannabis patients in Massachusetts. it would prohibit anyone from being discharged, disciplined, or discriminated against solely for their use of medical cannabis outside the workplace. Maine. Maine. I don't know what their abbreviations are for, but in Maine, a legislative document, LD 1880, has passed the Senate. Great. Now it's going back to the House for concurrence. Great. This would allow consumption venues to be established in Maine for adults 21 and older. Love that. Good job, Maine. And similarly, in California, Governor Newsom signed Assembly Bill 128 into law, and this would grant state regulators the authority to license cannabis event organizers. And so let's see, the organizers are defined under law as a licensee authorizing on-site cannabis sales, consumption to persons by and to persons 21 or older at a county fair event, district agricultural association event, or another venue expressly approved by a local jurisdiction. Yes, absolutely, at your county fair. That's great. Oh, okay. There we go. Jesse Ventura. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, James. Hey, James, I think your question is about Virginia. James says, how about a 10% discount for Medicaid like with vets? Yes. In fact, I am aware that there are Medicare and Medicaid discounts at some of the dispensaries in Virginia. I'm not going to pretend like I know them off the top of my head, but Cassidy, maybe you could look at that How to Save Money page on our website, and it may have some information there. Otherwise, just send us an email, James, and we'll figure it out, because I know there are dispensaries in Virginia that do provide that discount to Medicare, Medicaid patients. Curtis, right? Curtis says, why do patients and consumers have to move to get something regulated and safe when it should already be across America? Right? Kind of seems unfair that, especially for from a patient perspective, right? Like, if you're in the middle of it, let's say you have cancer, you're in the middle of a healthcare crisis, right? Because that's kind of what cancer is, and you don't have medical cannabis in your state, and you'd like to have access. Well, it seems kind of unfair that your choices are jail, using some drug like opioids, possibly dying. Just that seems unfair. But that's why we do the work that we do, as you well know. Oh, you talked to Rise, James? Okay, well, I will figure that out. But send us an email anyhow, so that we'll respond. We'll remember to respond. Oh, hey, Sean. Sean says, just moved from Michigan to Indiana. What can you do to help with legalization in Indiana? Sean, first of all, vote. Vote, vote, vote. Make sure everyone you know votes. And also get involved with Indiana NORML. They've been around for quite a while. Some good people out there. Charlie's ready to win a green ribbon at the county fair. Hey, Sherry. Good to see you. It would be awesome, Cody, if insurance covered medical cannabis just like other prescriptions. I think we'll get there one day. Just got a little bit more ways to go. Hi, Andrew. Yeah, Sherry, I know you're not going to move to North Carolina anytime soon because we legalized it in Virginia. North Carolina's got a ways to go. They've just punted medical cannabis legalization in North Carolina to potentially 2024. I don't know what they're doing down there. Like, whew, that's always something. All right, I feel like I want to tell you about some more things because we had some kind of cool news in our news articles this week, which of course hit your inbox yesterday if you subscribe to NORML News. If not, you can go to norml.org/subscribe. Make sure it hits your inbox every Thursday. Also, we have the Weekend Weed Read. If you're not getting the Weekend Weed Read, you should. I've prepared it. It's all ready for you to be delivered tomorrow morning. You just go to norml.org/subscribe, click the Weekend Weed Read box, and then you'll always get it on Saturdays. Some stories that are two stories I think are really interesting that are going to be in tomorrow's. They were in the Thursday newsletter. They're going to be in the Weekend Weed Read as well. First up is a pretty cool study that looked at hair regrowth in patients with alopecia, which is a condition that makes you lose your hair. And they applied topically, just to the scalp, cannabinoids. And in particular, the cannabinoids that seemed to be effective were CBD, THCV, and CBDV. And it also had some menthol and peppermint oil in there. But this was associated with significant hair regrowth in patients that have this specific type of alopecia, and the formulation was superior to the results from an FDA-approved hair regrowth prescription drug. So that's fascinating. You can read all about that on the NORML website. And since we were talking about medical cannabis patients, here's a story that will, of course, come as no surprise to you, but I kind of love it anyhow. Cancer patients in this latest study reported symptom relief, like pain relief and better sleep, as well as cognitive improvements from using edibles. And these were patients who were using edibles from a state licensed dispensary. And yeah, that's probably not surprising to you all, but also, great story. The authors go on to say that it's particularly of note that high CBD was associated with steeper improvements in pain intensity and sleep quality. So there you go. Check that out. Let's get Texas legalized, Bill. Yes, let's, Bill. Let's indeed do that. Hey, Bill, have you connected with Texas NORML yet? My dear friend Jax James is the executive director of Texas NORML. She's doing incredible work there. So I hope you've already connected with Jax. If you have, you know how amazing she is. Oh, Curtis. Curtis says legalization is like driving without a steering wheel in these prohibition states. Something. Well, hello, Space Garden. Oh my goodness. Well, first of all, Space Garden, thank you for taking the time to email your senator. That's fantastic. Space Garden says, I emailed my senator about his bill proposal to legalize cannabis in 2024 in Arkansas, and he's yet to respond. It's been well over a month. Well, right back. Call. Be persistent, be polite. They're more likely to respond. Oh, wow. Space Garden adds, we also have a judge voiding 27 medical cannabis laws, calling them unconstitutional, and you're nervous for what's ahead. Yeah, well, I would be too. Hmm. Folly would like everyone to know that adult use cannabis pricing in Maryland is very reasonable. You're welcome, Maryland. All right. Hey, Fred, happy Friday. Happy Friday. You know, Folly, since we're talking about Maryland, I think we can never give enough high fives to this state that just has such a common sense and pragmatic approach to legalization, especially in comparison to its neighbor to the south, Virginia, just fooling around, doing all sorts of nonsense, and not really making any meaningful movement due to the current administration. Um, I love that Maryland's governor said the voters want legalization and we're going to be ready on July 1st. And sales begin on July 1st. We're able to begin on July 1st at existing operators who have been properly licensed to sell to both adults and medical patients. So something most states do. Every state but New York, which New York is not a shining example of how to legalize or regulate cannabis. Sorry, New York friends, but I don't think you needed me to tell you that. But yeah, Maryland just doing it right. And huge shout out to Maryland's NORML for making sure that personal cultivation was ultimately included in that legislation. There was not going to be personal cultivation in Maryland's legalization effort, and Maryland NORML was able to get that in there toward the end, so adults can cultivate two mature plants in Maryland now. It is outstanding, isn't it, Mike? It is indeed. All right, friends. I feel like this was a fast one. This was a fast show. It was a quick day. Everyone's on vacation. Everyone did an excellent job in Maryland. That's accurate. All right, let's talk a little bit about some events coming up. Did I get it right? I did. Does Kentucky NORML have a link for their event yet? All right, let's talk about, that's not the name of it. I could have, thank you. All right, July 18th, 7 p.m., we've got an event to tell you about happening in Fairfax, Virginia. No, specifically Falls Church. Don't do that part. That's weird. The Cannabis Control Authority will be holding an informational session at the Mary Riley Stiles Public Library in Falls Church, Virginia. This is July 18, 7 to 8 p.m. You can get more information on the CCA website. I don't know if this one's going to live stream or not. I guess I could just click the link and read what it says. Coming up July 20th, 4 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Eastern, live with Kentucky NORML. It's going to stream right here, friends. Don't miss that. If you're in Kentucky, make sure you're connecting with Kentucky NORML. They're doing amazing work. And they're planning the 2024 Kentucky Cannabis Conference, which you definitely want to be a part of. Right, coming up in September, Virginia NORML will be at Virginia Pride Fest on Browns Island this September 23rd from 12 to 7. Come out and see us. Come out and see us. It'll be great. Hopefully it won't be 8 million degrees. We'll have tons of cool swag. Come see us. All right. And then in October, the wonderful people at Ink Sanity Tattoo are doing a fundraiser for us. You can already see that event on Facebook. They will have specially priced cannabis flash. And I'm going to go up there and be there. It's going to be great. Hey, Cassidy, I think that tomorrow, you know what? You don't know because you can't just answer me back like that when we're talking this way. Oh, I'm not going to open it because if I open it, then it's going to open up that Facebook page and the live stream and all that jazz. Hey, Cassidy, there's a grand opening tomorrow in Danville. Boy, I wish I could talk about that. Hold on, I'm going to figure it out. Is it Danville? That doesn't sound right. Oh, it is. Great. Here we go. Green Thumb Industries. GTI is, I'm just putting this little news article there. Hey, people in Virginia, Rise dispensary is opening in Danville. Well, no, that's not it. Oh, yes, that is it. Okay, they're already open. They're already serving patients, but their grand opening celebration is tomorrow, Friday, July 15th. And here's what I can tell you. Well, first of all, profits from that day are going to be donated to Virginia NORML, so that's super awesome. But for you, the event will feature special discounts, music, and treats. And in the first 50 patients in line will receive 50% off their purchase and get a swag bag. So if you're a medical cannabis patient in Virginia and you're anywhere by Danville, sounds like the drive will be worth the discount. 50% off. First 50 patients. There you go. Curtis says, can't wait for the day when a president smokes a blunt in the Oval Office. I don't know if they're allowed to smoke in general in the Oval Office, but I catch your point there. I'm going to guess it's probably happened somewhere in the White House before, if not the Oval Office. Right, Cody? That's what I'm saying. All right, and one last event that I want to tell you about, the NORML Key West Legal Seminar. This is November 3rd through December 2nd in Key West. You can register right now, norml.org/Key West. If you're an attorney and you need continuing legal education credits, great, we've got them for you. Our CLEs are accredited in all states that require them. And if you're not an attorney, it's still a fantastic seminar, and it's an opportunity to connect with legal experts from around the country, people who are doing the work to help move us from prohibition to cannabis freedom. Come get connected. Come hang out in Key West with us. It's a great time. How can you become a member, Curtis? A member of what? Of NORML? Go to norml.org/join right now. norml.org/join. That's how you join NORML. Or if you want to join the NORML Legal Committee, if you're an attorney, go to norml.org/lawyers. Where's my water? It's way over here. The end of my water is going to be the end of my voice. All right. That's all the big news for this week. It's a pretty fun week, news-wise. Good stuff happening. Runners, Michigan, Ohio. Whew. Cool stuff. All right, friends, we will not have a show next week. So I'll be out of the office, but don't worry. I'll be back here in 2 weeks and we'll do this all again. Yeah, absolutely. All right, friends, this has been great. I love hanging out with all of you, answering your burning questions. I hope you're enjoying your summer. Take a little time off. Enjoy some more. Come back here in 2 weeks and let's hang out again. Um, hey, in the meantime, if you have any questions, you can always hit us up on Facebook or send us an email at normal@normal.org. If you have not yet, now I always say I'm going to leave one of these on the table and I don't. If you have not yet gotten your 2023 official NORML membership card, I would love to send you one. $35 a year makes you a NORML member. Head to normal.org/join. Join now, and I personally will send you your 2023 membership card. All right, friends, have a great weekend. As always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you back here next time. Bye-bye.